Injuries have derailed many careers. For starters, Johan Santana was well on pace for the Hall of Fame before injuries everywhere on his body started to snowball, and many other players have unfortunately followed in his footsteps. One in particular that may have the same fate is Chris Sale. The man who is once one of the game's most feared lefties has been forced out of action for the majority of the past few years. So let's go over his rise, fall, and potential rise again. On June 7, 2010, Sale was drafted by the Chicago White Sox in the first round of the amateur draft and immediately displayed his potential. In 11 games between Single-A Plus and Triple-A, he struck out 19 batters in 10 1/3 innings pitched while maintaining a solid .261 ERA. This strong showing gave confidence to the White Sox front office that he was already capable of being a big leaguer, and he was the first player from the 2010 draft to make his debut when he came in just a few months after selection to face the Baltimore Orioles on August 6th. Allowing 1 hit and 1 walk without recording an out. A rocky start for the lefty, but he managed to settle down and found a groove in the pen, finishing the season with a 1.93 ERA and 12.3 strikeouts per 9 in 23 2/3 innings pitched. His stellar performances during this late call-up solidified his spot in the bullpen once again for the 2011 season, where he continued to post elite numbers, this time tossing a 2.79 ERA in 71 innings pitched, while also maintaining his high strikeout rate with 10 per 9 innings. Then that offseason, the Sox's best starter, Mark Buehrle, signed a 4-year, $58 million contract with the Marlins, thus opening up a spot in the rotation. And with Sale's decent stats as a starter in spring training ahead of 2012, he won the job and never looked back. That season, Sale managed a 17-8 record, had an ERA just above 3, and struck out 192 batters in 192 innings pitched. Phenomenal numbers, and what surprises me the most here is that he went from just 34 innings pitched in 2010 to 71 in 2011 to 192 in 2012. Because typically pitchers who are not stretched out to go long innings don't fare well when they are tasked with a heavy workload they haven't seen before. Just look at Alek Manoah. Sure, there were many things wrong with him in 2023, but a big increase in workload year by year could have also added fuel to the fire. But back to it. From 2013 to 2016, Sale continued as a starter and cemented himself as one of the game's premier left-handed pitchers, finishing top 5 in each of these 4 years for the Cy Young Award, held around a 3 ERA, around 200 innings pitched a season, and in trademark Sale fashion, posted many lines that involved a lot of strikeouts. But as the Chicago White Sox continued to fail year after year, it was increasingly likely that with Sale entering free agency soon that he would be traded, and that's exactly what happened. On December 6, 2016, the Red Sox acquired his services for top prospects Yoan Moncada, Michael Kopech, and 2 more in the biggest blockbuster of the year. And in Sale's time with Boston, he continued to blossom. In 2017, for only the second season as a starter, posted an ERA below 3, and had over 300 strikeouts in 214 innings pitched, helping anchor the front of the Sox's rotation. And in 2018, despite missing some time through injury, still managed to post the joint highest WAR total in his career, en route to helping the Sox win their 4th championship in the 21st century by notoriously sending Machado flailing on one knee for the final out of the World Series. Truly a storybook moment, since Machado can loosely be credited with helping end Red Sox fan favorite Dustin Pedroia's career with a horror slide into second base just the year prior. But unfortunately, this is where the fairy tale starts to take a turn. Because following the Sox championship run, Sale had his worst season of his career with an ERA that more than doubled from his previous season's figure. He also missed 44 days due to an elbow injury, which just a few months after the season ended required him to undergo Tommy John surgery, sidelining him for the whole of the 2020 season and until August of 2021. A full 17 months after the operation, and while he did come back and perform well in his return, helping the Sox clinch the wild card on the final day of the season, he couldn't maintain his health, with 2022 being another lost year. This time, a rib injury cost him the start of the season until September, and when he did come back, he was sidelined again with a broken finger after getting struck with a line drive by Aaron Hicks in only his second start of the season. And while he was supposed to pitch again in 2022, a broken wrist from falling off of his bike forced him into season-ending surgery. And last year, while he did pitch in the most games he had since 2019, a shoulder injury cost him about 2 months of the season. meaning in total from 2020 to 2023, he started in 31 games, tossing just 151 innings, and had an ERA well above his career norm at a cumulative 3.93. This type of production from a man who signed a 5-year, $145 million extension became a burden for the Sox payroll. But despite this, they were able to shed some of his contract earlier this week by trading him along with paying $17.5 of his $25 million contract for Vaughn Grissom. A strong offensive, poor defensive prospect, but with a move to second base from shortstop on his horizon, he could easily become a 2 to 3 WAR player in his first full season in the major leagues. And as for Sale, this truly feels like one last shot because with each year that goes by, it's harder and harder to believe he could return to stardom. But in a new environment and with some momentum from the 2023 season, is this the beginning of his rise again, or will he continue his steep decline, damaging his Hall of Fame hopes? That wraps it up for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe to stay in touch with everything MLB and help me reach more like-minded baseball fans such as yourself, as we're still a rather small channel. Alright, thank you for your support, and I'll see you in the next one.